I hope you're feeling blessed. Welcome back to my little corner of the internet. If you've never met before, my name is Ayona Mashero. If we have, hi. It's been a while, hasn't it? Oh, it's been a minute, but this is just a cute, small, non-serious life update. What I've been doing, where I've been, what the heck what's going on in my life right now. If I seem anxious, I am very anxious because I have an interview in an hour. I am so anxious because they're going to treat me like an adult. So I decided, let me just do this video right now because I know I'll never get the chance to do it. What are we doing this year? Okay, so cute life update. I am in my postgrad in accounting. Yep, I'm doing my PGDA, which is postgraduate diploma in accounting. It's an NQF level 8 diploma course. I don't know what to call it, but it's NQF level 8, which is step 3 of my journey to becoming a CASA. First step being getting into a psych-accredited university. Second step being completing my psych-accredited BCom financial accounting CSG degree, of which I did in December. Yep. And then the third step, which is what I'm doing now, is completing my PGDA, or other universities call it a CTA. You can call it whatever you want. It's postgraduate diploma. It's a postgraduate diploma in accounting. Word for, so we just call it PGDA or GDA. So if I refer to it as PGDA, GDA, postgrad, accounting, same thing, but different. Anyway, so PGDA consists of 4 disciplines, courses, modules. So PGDA is a course on its own. So when I registered, I was registering for PGDA. So it's a course on its own, but it has 4 courses within it, right? So we have financial reporting 4. So last year, if you have been here before, last year I was tutoring financial reporting 1. That's first year financial reporting, and then second year financial reporting 2, third year financial reporting 3. This year I'm doing financial reporting 4, which is, yeah. All I can say is that if you think financial reporting is about money and calculating the profit, I'm doing a lot more discussion. Like I was doing my chat yesterday, we'll come to that, but I was doing my chat yesterday on revenue, the first line item in your income statement, revenue, and I was discussing and evaluating. So it's not about just calculating how much money you're making, okay? I'm discussing. I'm writing essays, 30-something marks to discuss what is revenue. Please, let's not play. I'm gonna crash out, but let's not play. Then we have financial reporting 4, obviously, like I mentioned, taxation 3. So second year I did taxation 1, third year I did taxation 2. This year I'm doing taxation 3, which is actually pretty tame. We'll come to how I'm feeling about the local courses later. Then we have governance, audit, and assurance 3. First year I did, it's GAR. Governance, G, audit, A, assurance, A. So it's GAR, right? GAR 3. I'm doing GAR 3, GAR 1, second year, GAR 2, third year, GAR 3, final year. You're seeing the pattern, right? Then, last but not least, I am doing management, accounting, and finance. So this doesn't have a number at the end of it because in second year I did management, accounting 1 and finance 1, like intro to finance type, like, and finance 1. And then second year in third year, I only did management accounting 2. So this is technically management accounting and finance 2 because I did finance 1 in second year, skipped a year, and then I did BAG last year, which kind of is like finance, but you know. But yeah, so those are the 4 courses. So far, how it's going, I don't know, but factually, I've written 2 Saturday tests. If you haven't seen it, they're on my TikTok, which will be somewhere here, I think. And they're on my TikTok. I've done a vlog for the first one. A second one was just a tiny recap at the beginning of a vlog after the Saturday test. Those were, yes, and you did hear me right, it is Saturday test, meaning Saturday and test in the same sentence, a label. So how it goes is that all 4 courses on Saturday from 9. So it's 2 papers. 1 paper has 2 courses in randomized order. So I don't know what it is until I open the paper. In randomized order. in the morning we write the first paper, we have an hour break, then the afternoon we write another paper. So it's not too bad. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes per paper, 1 hour 12 for each course. So it's not that deep, and it's 45 minutes. Easy to lose marks. I received all my results for the Saturday test. It's very easy to lose marks when it's 45 marks in total, okay? But yeah, nothing crazy. I think the bulk of what I've experienced in PGDA has nothing to do with academics, to be fair. I think in PGDA I've just been realizing a lot of things, and that's the bulk of what I'm going to be talking about right now. Okay, so firstly, how are we feeling in terms of life in general? Life is pretty good. I am active in my community, so I'm serving in church. I am tutoring again this year, so amazing. I'm very excited. I'm tutoring Management Accounting 1. As I mentioned, it's a second year course, so I've moved up from tutoring first years, now I'm tutoring second years, which is very interesting. So at the beginning of the year when we're doing training, during training we have to do presentations. So we have to go in front of my future bosses and my future colleagues. I had to go tutor them, kind of simulated tutorial, right? I kind of had to do the same thing during an interview, but they just ask you a question. But in the tutoring, in our tutoring training session, in our little group as Management Accounting team, I had to tutor my bosses and colleagues. You can just imagine my nerves. And I think in that moment, I felt very much challenged. I felt a little imposter syndrome. I was like, actually, I'm not sure if I can do this. This seems very difficult. I don't know if I can tutor management accounting. I mean, yeah, I did well in it. And I love management accounting. I love management accounting and finance. But like, just because you love something doesn't mean you can tutor it. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like that until I had my first tat. Okay, no, I'm lying. Until I had my second tat. My first tat was horrible. It felt like a dumpster fire. I was sweating so hard. Obviously, people hear rumors about management accounting, about how difficult it is, and so people come with that energy. And so I'm stressed about that. I'm stressed about, hey Bandla, I'm stressed about how am I gonna get these people to be active and jumping and, you know, excited about this thing. And yeah, it was a bit of a dumpster fire because they were just staring at me like, because I kept asking questions and they were like, I'm like, do you guys know what's going on? And they're like, yeah, but like, you know. And I was like, sorry, sucks to suck. It'd be like that. This is management accounting. It'd be like that sometimes. So I've just been trying to navigate that. But my second tat onwards, like since I got comfortable with tutoring and I got comfortable with explaining these concepts, and I kind of told myself, hey, you didn't get this job as a favor. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get this job as a favor. I got it because my bosses saw something in me and they saw potential in me to, you know, facilitate and impart knowledge on my students. So when I started realizing that I didn't get this job as a favor, that I got it because of merit, and whatever my bosses saw in me is something that I have within me, I started being more confident in the tutoring space and I started showing up a bit better. So I remember someone said like, oh, you make it so easy to understand, you explain so nicely. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. And we've talked about criticism from last year. And just constructive criticism, and I'm learning to take constructive criticism. I'm actually much better taking constructive criticism than I was in the past. I'm more open to it now than I was in the past, and I see it as more of a good thing than I did in the past. So I'm grateful for that. So that's where I am in terms of tutoring. I'm super excited to be tutoring. It's still jarring to me that I'm a tutor. I do tutor twice every month, so it's not as hectic as last year where I was tutoring every single week. So that just kind of spreads out my workload and all of this stuff quite well. So I'm happy about that. Besides tutoring, I'm active in church. I'm still going to the same church, guys. Are you proud of me? As a church hopper, are you proud of me? I'm still in the same church from 2nd October. Isn't that amazing? You know what I'm saying? I'm very active in church. I've found community. I've learned a lot. I've learned to just little nuggets. I've learned to not force things. So I've learned to not force things in church. Last year, somewhere, man, in April, I stopped going to church for a little bit because I was like, I feel like I'm not connecting to people. I feel like I'm just still floating around in church. This year, I took it upon myself to say, you know what? I'm not going to force things. I'm going to show up as myself. I'm going to be loving and kind to these people, but I'm not going to force a besta boomba-ship. Okay, not everybody has to be a besta boomba. If there's anything you have to learn from me as someone who loves being besta boomba with people, not everyone has to be your besta boomba. It's okay for people to not be your besta boomba. It's okay to have a church relationship with people. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's okay to have a surface level relationship with people. It's not a death sentence. You are not going to die. You're not a villain. You're not going to die. It's just how it is sometimes. Not everyone's going to be your friend. Not everyone's going to be your uncle, your brother, your sister. Not everyone's going to be your family. Not everyone's going to be the uncles to your children that, you know, you met in varsity. It's okay. Just move on. Like, that's what I had to tell myself. Just move on. It's okay. I have my people at church. I have people that I talk to on a deeper level also at church that I wouldn't call my best friends, but we do talk on a deeper level, which is what I love about community. And I'm so happy. Like, I feel so free. I feel so much at peace. And it just removes so much weight off my shoulders. Like, oh, I need to text Mang every day to make sure that we are besta boombas by the end of this year. They must come to my wedding. Everyone at church must be invited to my wedding. I was friends with everyone at church. They must. It's okay. I love community down. Love the God's people down. But at the same time, it's just a matter of, hey, you're not called to be a destiny helper to everyone. Maybe in this season you're called to be besta boombas with this person. Next season you're not called to be besta boombas to each other, and that's okay. It be like that sometimes. It happens. So I think I've just learned to let sleeping dogs lie. Is it lying dogs lie? I've learned to let bygones be bygones. I don't know if I'm using that correctly in the correct context, but you know what? It be like that sometimes. I've also learned to say it be like that sometimes after receiving my Saturday test 1 results. So I did much better than I expected. I failed only one of my courses, which was a bit of a shock, not gonna lie. I expected to fail every single one of them, but I only failed one of the 4. I failed governance, audit, and assurance. It was a horrible paper, I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm not even trying to like be some type of way. No, it was a horrible paper. I didn't know what to do. I think I got like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. I got a mark that's the same age as me. That's all I can tell you for free 99. If you don't know how old I am, just guess. I got that mark. And it wasn't, so for the first time in a long time, I'm not like pressed about my marks. So I had high goals for myself this year. I had goals to do really well, like to pass PGDA, yes, but to pass it really well. And this goes back to the whole imposter syndrome chat that I've always struggled with through undergrad, to kind of prove to myself in a sense that I'm not a loser and I'm not dumb and I'm not an idiot. And I can do hard things. Just to put it simply. There's like a deep philosophical reason, but just to put it very simply, I just want to prove to myself that I'm not an idiot. Because when you come into varsity, you tell yourself, oh, it's varsity, no one's a top achiever, 50 is fine. And then you start doing well, but then you're like, oh, but you start comparing yourself to other people, all of this stuff, and you start thinking, I'm an idiot, I'm dumb, I'm not smart enough to do this. And subconsciously, your brain also decides, oh, okay, that's why my final year results are not my best. I'm not happy about my final year results because I know I could do better. But because I really told myself that I'm an idiot, I'm dumb, I'm not smart enough to do this, I just let things be and I just did really badly, and I didn't like that about myself. So this year I'm trying to be more proactive, to be more optimistic and speaking more life towards myself. So is that. Whew, that was a mouthful, but all in all, I just want to prove that I'm not an idiot and I'm not dumb. To myself. I don't care what anyone says, to myself. What I did struggle with, in fact, back like zooming in on the comparing yourself chat, what I did struggle with this year specifically was envy and comparing myself and inferiority complex, which is really insane because I'm not the kind of, and this was really hard for me to wrap my head around because I'm not the kind of person to compare myself to other people. My sister knows. My sister will say, don't compare yourself to other people. And I'm like, no, these people have cars, honey. I can't compare myself to them, okay? Oh, when she's like, oh, you know, don't rush. I'm like, no, show me. The people that are around me that are married, they have cars and apartments, okay? Can't compare myself to them. So I know why I can't compare myself to people. But all of a sudden, I find myself comparing myself to people, which was very Yeah, interesting. It was just very interesting because I'll be sitting and I'll start competing with people internally. I'm like, hey, man, these people probably don't even know that I'm competing with them. And here I am competing with them. I'm envying them. I'm just sitting there like, oh, they're probably getting 50. I should work hard. And I'm like, my sister, my whole life, my mantra was, you are your own competition. You are your own Jonga. You must be better than you yesterday's price, not today's price. That's been my whole mantra. So now coming into PGDA and suddenly feeling like, okay, I need to be the best. I need to be better than Usman Ban. That was crazy. That was such a shift. And I think it was propelled by the fact that because I've always considered myself as less than. Now when I'm trying to lift myself up, I've never done that. So I don't know how to do it in a healthy way. I only know how to just, the easiest way I can think to lift myself up is to put other people down in my own head, or to compare myself to other people, which wasn't very Christ-like of me. And so I prayed against that, repented, and now I'm in a much healthier space. I do not be comparing myself to people. I don't even pay attention to people in class anymore, to be fair. I'm pretty much chilling now. I'm working on being my own coach. The quality and angle of my video has shifted because my phone was by the window and it overheated because it was in front of the sun. So I can't use it for a bit until it cools down. So let's continue here on my iPad. Shout out to having an iPad. Yes, so comparing myself to people and all of that stuff was very detrimental to me. I think it caused me to work for people and not as for the Lord, which was not cute, but it'd be like that sometimes. Moving on. In terms of time, my schedule. Where art thou, my schedule? My schedule is insane. It is insane. This is not me complaining, this is just a fact. So essentially my schedule is insane. I don't have the weekends to myself unless I'm writing a test on Saturday. I have a submission every Sunday at 10 p.m. for all four of my courses. So that's a scene, which is a tutorial that you do, you mark, and then you reflect on it. So that is my for every single course. So they can be like 5 of them in a row and they all for one course, but the cap is like 200 per course, I think. So the cap is 200 per course, and then during the week I have to submit my unseens before 1 p.m. on the day of my TAT. So unseen is where I don't have the solution, so I don't mark it and reflect. I just do the TAT, I do the tutorial questions, can be multiple questions for one course. I do the tutorial question and then I call it a week. And then I submit before 1 p.m. on the day of that course's tutorial, right? So how my day looks on a regular, how it should look, let's not get into semantics. How it should look is that I should start working at 8, and then at 1 I should be done working and have submitted. Then I should come to campus because my tutorial is at 2 until 4 p.m. Then I have a class from 4 to 6 p.m. And then that is just my schedule every day, Monday to Thursday. And then on Fridays, where I am not writing a Saturday test the day after, we have workshops and things like that. So Monday to Friday, 2 to 6, I'm on campus. I should be working in the morning. Some mornings, like today, I'm not working because I have an interview. I did the work last night though. Yeah, timing is a bit crazy. Time is a bit of a crazy one. It's a bit hard to manage. I'm trying to manage my time as best as I can. I have a schedule that's like to the T, like doing this work, then a break, then this work, then a break. Unfortunately though, I have not yet reached the level where I am following that schedule to the T. I'm trying though. I don't think I've settled enough to follow that schedule to the T. So yeah, it's not You know what I'm saying? What can I say? It be like that sometimes. So I'm trying to just work out. I'm still trying. You know what, guys? It's week 10, right? It's week 10. And to just put things in perspective, it's week 10 right now. It's my last week. Next week is study week. The week after that is April test. My first big assessment, which I will explain later. It's week 10 and I'm still trying to find my feet. That's why I couldn't produce vlogs as much as I wanted to, because I was still trying to find my feet 10 weeks later. I remember crashing out to my mom. Like, I think a month ago, about how tired I feel. Like, I'm exhausted. That morning I couldn't do anything. I forced myself. No, it was a Sunday and I had to submit. And it was the first time chasing a deadline like that. I literally submitted at 9 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. And I remember submitting at 9 p.m. I usually submit before going to church. So by 2 p.m. on Sunday, I would have submitted my things and I'm done. But that day was especially hard. I was very exhausted. I was very tired. So I called my mom and I'm telling her, I'm like, I feel so tired. I feel like since I arrived in Cape Town, I have not rested. I arrived, the day rest opened, fetched my storage, second day, unpacked, went to church, Monday, tutors training. You get what I'm saying? Monday, tutors training, Tuesday, tutors training, Wednesday, tutors training, and then that Wednesday, orientation. No. Yes, Wednesday, tutors training. Oh, that Wednesday, yes, orientation. Thursday, first class. Friday, first class. I just arrived, my Jew. That was my first week. Then, that Saturday, after I just arrived, a week after I arrived in Cape Town, submission. I was working on my first submissions. Sunday, I was working on my first submissions. Went to church. Monday, class. Submissions. So, since then, since I sat down in Cape Town, I have not rested. So, I was really crashing out that day. I couldn't get any work done. And what it has turned into is just, because I went into PGDA, I don't know if I blame myself for this or if it's just I'm not used to this type of situation. So I went into PGDA, as I've said, with this thing of I want to excel, right? So I came out the door running. A lot of people, on Monday when we were going to the jammy, I'm asking people like, oh, how was the submissions? How did you find them? A lot of people were like, it was actually hard submitting. I didn't meet the deadline. I forgot to submit. I submitted the wrong thing. And I'm like, okay, I came out the door running, right? So I was like, I need to get it perfect from the word go so that by the end of the year, I don't have 0 regrets. So I came out running. Hence, I was burnt out by week 6. Not burnt out. No, let me stop lying. I was tired. Very exhausted by week 6, and therefore the quality of my work since week 6 after week 6, not gonna lie, after 6 weeks, when I would usually in undergrad have a rest or a vac, I didn't have a vac. So 6 weeks in, I was exhausted. The quality of my work significantly dropped. At this point, I was just doing my tats to submit, right? And so last week was grad week. That is coming up. Last week was grad week, and that's when it kind of hit. Yeah, that's when I hit my limit. That was the first time I didn't submit anything for any of my courses. So I didn't submit for math. I didn't submit for car. And then this weekend, I was with my family, right? So, again, I was resting. That was my vac. So, I was resting, didn't submit anything, no scenes, did not submit my scenes. So, I really don't have attendance, to be fair. But now, grad week and coming out of grad week, I don't want to go too much into grad week, but it's just allowed me to refocus. Having my family here and seeing them, celebrate this monumentous occasion, which was my graduation, was incredibly sobering, and it just redirected me and reminded me why I'm doing this, right? It reminded me that, hey, my family has worked hard. My mom has sacrificed so much. My sisters have contributed so much for me to get to where I am right now. And I needed that reminder, hence why I'm working. I worked last night and I did submit something, even though I probably won't get attendance for it, but I did submit nonetheless. And I think it was just sobering. So PGDA so far, all in all, where are we? I'm in a really good space. At the beginning of the year, I was in a really good space. I was a bit tired at some points. There's ups and downs. I'm a language fan, as my mom would love to say. I'm in a really good space though, overall. I am feeling a lot better about my work, about myself. I've put in the work to be more intentional with community and literally working on my schedule and being so disciplined so that I have time for my community instead of saying there's no time and then I doom scroll for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? So I've taken the time to really put in more effort and to be more intentional about my relationships and about my community and spending time with them, because I don't want to lose friendships all in the name of, but I was in PGDA, I was fighting for my life. No. I still want to have time for my people and the people that contributed to me even getting this degree. So yes, that is all from me. This was very unrehearsed, unscripted. If you enjoyed this, if you made it to the end, thank you. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? You're cool. If you made it to the end, shout out. You're an amazing human being. You are absolutely loved and cared for, and I hope you know that the Lord is watching over you. That's it from me.